The Ford Dealers of America present The Fred Allen Show. The Fred Allen Show with Fred's guest, Victor Moore, Portland Hoffa, Minerva Pius, Peter Donald, Parker Finley, the DeMarco sisters, and Al Goodman and his orchestra. And this is Kenny Delmar speaking for your Ford dealer. Whether you use just one truck in your business or a whole fleet, it'll pay you to get all the facts about the new 1949 Ford bonus-built trucks. The most wanted trucks on the road today. There are over 139 models in the Ford truck line, including the 145 horsepower big jobs, rated to pull up to 19.5 tons gross. There's a choice of 3 engines, all with power to spare. There's a $1 million cab that sets a new high in comfort for the driver. A new Ford truck is a pleasure to drive, and best of all, these low-cost performers are an outstandingly good investment because they're bonus-built. Ford trucks are extra strong. They last longer. For all the facts about the new Ford bonus-built trucks for $49, see your Ford dealer tomorrow. Well, what do you know? It's Sunday night again, and here comes Fred Allen driving down Main Street in his new Ford to keep his weekly date at the usual corner. As Fred turns to lock his Ford, he hears a voice say,
Mr. Allen!
Portland, Say, it's strange, Portland. Every Sunday night, you seem to be on this same corner at precisely the same time.
You're sure lucky.
Well, how do you mean I'm lucky?
Well, if I wasn't here, how would you start your program?
Well, why don't you not show up some Sunday and find out?
Oh, I'm not that curious.
Not that curious, eh? See, the laugh came in the middle of the joke there. It's the new atom writer I've got, and he's so used to working at Oak Ridge, he hides the laughs in the middle of the joke. Well, Portland, what's new?
The Girl Scouts are celebrating their 37th anniversary.
Oh, good. Are you a Girl Scout?
No, but Mama used to be a campfire girl.
Campfire girl?
When Mama left the campfire girls, they made her an honorary clinker.
An honorary? Well, your mother sure is a solid cinder, I've noticed. What else is in the news, Portland?
A lot of taverns in New Jersey are taking out their television sets.
Oh, I know. Today, if you hear a man in a Jersey saloon say, "Here's looking at you," you know he isn't talking to Arthur Godfrey.
Why are the taverns taking out their sets?
Well, originally, as you may know, they only had television in the taverns. That's how it got started. The shows on television were so bad that they drove the people out of the taverns back into their homes, you see.
I see.
And then the people began getting television sets in their homes, and the shows started driving the people out of their homes back into the taverns.
That's why the tavern owners are taking out television?
Oh, yes. Now that they have the people back in the taverns, they aren't taking any chances.
Oh.
Have you, that was a worthwhile retort. You accomplished your purpose and ventilated the microphone. Have you any other scoops?
The league.
You want to stop and enjoy what's gone on? Let's forge ahead, little knowing how we'll come out.
The League for Less Noise is trying to cut down on noise in New York City.
Well, you know, I read that some woman wrote a poem about that.
Oh, I wrote a noise poem, too.
No kidding. What is your noise poem called?
New York.
New York. How does it go?
N for the newsboy with his hue and his cry. E for the L that goes thundering by. W for the whistles traffic cops blow. Y for the yells of hucksters below. O for those orators shouting on curbs. R for the radio blasting their blurbs. K for the kids shrieking loud in each block. These are the noises you hear in New York.
Very good. You put your own York in there. You weren't there. I think well, at least it rhymed. There was one grammatical error. Miss Loudon, who makes the radio blasting its blurbs, it should have been. But we'll be forgiven in Boston. I'll run up and apologize. Well, I think I'll buzz along and get my paper, Portland.
Oh, I'm coming, too.
Well, come on. Let's take a run down Main Street. We're a little late.
What's in the paper?
Say, look at this big ad.
Don't forget the new Henry Morgan program. It follows Fred Allen.
Say, Henry must have spent his first week's salary for that ad. And look at this other ad next to it. Travel and Vacation Show, Rockefeller Center. You know, I'll bet that travel show is mobbed every night.
Do you think most people like to travel?
Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's ask some people now as we're walking down Main Street. This man coming with the high-button moccasins and the cellophane overnight bag. Pardon me, brother.
Claghorn, say Claghorn's the name. Senator Claghorn, that is.
Oh, I saw your bag there. Leaving town, Senator?
No, son, I'm just coming back from Professor Einstein's birthday party.
You and Professor Einstein?
Yeah, me and Einstein sat around chewing the fat.
Senator, what could you and Professor Einstein possibly discuss?
Well, son, we had one thing in common.
One thing?
Professor Einstein didn't know what I was talking about.
Yes?
And I never will know what he was talking about.
Well, do you understand Professor Einstein's theory of relativity?
I sure do. If you got a minute in a dictionary, son, I'll explain it to you.
Good. Well, what is it all about?
Well, it's simple, son. Relativity controls space.
Space.
Space is nothing.
Yes.
Everything comes from nothing.
Uh-huh.
You take a small, round piece of nothing, put a little fried dough around it, it's a donut. Now, you take a big, round piece of nothing, put some dirt around it, it's a tunnel.
Say.
Take a lot of nothing and wet it, it's an ocean.
And that is relativity?
Yes, son. Professor Einstein knows everything about nothing.
Good. Tell me, not changing the subject, Senator, what's new? What's doing down in Washington?
Well, things is popping, son.
Yeah?
John L. Lewis called out his boys again.
Say, did the miners walk out, upset the president?
Oh, little old Harry ain't worrying about no coal shortage.
No?
He's getting his lumps from Congress.
Tell me, Senator, about our question. Do you think people like to travel?
Well, son, all Democrats like to travel. Democrats are on the go.
I see.
But, son, you can load every plane, you can load every train, you can load every boat with Republicans.
And what will happen?
Nothing. Them Republicans ain't going no place. So long, son. So long.
Well, come on, Portland. What's in that bookstore window?
There's a new bestseller, Where is Everybody?
Where is everybody?
It's the story of a cannibal with amnesia.
Yeah?
The cannibal eats all of the people he knows and forgets.
Then he forgets, huh?
Then he asks himself that question.
What question?
Where is everybody?
Oh, I'll have to get that book. Say, look who's coming out of the drugstore.
Titus Moody.
Hi, Mr. Moody.
Howdy, Bub.
Taking a stroll?
No, I just come out to get Miss Moody a snake ball.
A snake ball?
Miss Moody got a snake bite t'other morning.
Oh, how did it happen?
Why, this snake was trying to go down his hole.
Yes?
Miss Moody kept grabbing him by the tail and pulling him out.
Oh, every time the snake got his head in the hole, Mrs. Moody would grab him by the tail and pull him out?
Every time till the last time.
And the last time?
The snake started backing down the hole. Yep.
Yeah?
And when Miss Moody bent down, he nipped.
He nipped, eh? Well, tell me, was it a garter snake?
He didn't go for no particular spot. He just bit what was handy.
Oh.
And Miss Moody is a big woman.
Big woman, eh?
From any angle, there's a lot of Miss Moody that's handy.
But a snake bite, why, that's dangerous.
A little more venom and Miss Moody won't mean nothing.
Oh, well. Well, Mr. Moody, how do you feel about traveling?
Oh, I don't hold with travel.
You don't?
I was born in my house.
I see.
I've lived all my life in my house.
Well, don't you ever plan to travel?
Oh, someday I reckon I'll travel across the street.
What's across the street?
The cemetery. So long.
So long, Mr. Moody. Well, let's go, Portland.
This window is full of mottos.
What mottos?
This one says, I wonder if the skunk ever turns around and takes a deep breath.
Well, I hope so. He should get in on it, too.
Look who's crossing the street.
Mrs. Nussbaum.
You were expecting maybe Olivia de Halva?
Oh, Tell me, Mrs. Nussbaum, do you think the average person likes to travel?
What is travel? It is going places.
Well, don't you like to go places?
I'm in a place.
Well, I know.
Why should I go to another place?
Oh, you like to stay put.
A rolling cone is gathering no moss.
But wouldn't you like to see the world?
Seeing the world, this is a slogan.
I know.
My little nephew, Ginger Primoff.
Yes.
Ginger is having the wanderlust.
The wanderlust, huh?
One day, Ginger is observing a sign, joining the Navy, also seeing the world.
And your nephew Ginger joined the Navy?
He is a second class something, first class, not quite an admiral.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh.
For 2 years, my nephew's going to Europe, to Asia, to down under Australia.
Well, he sure saw the world.
Confidentially, with the Navy, he is seeing nothing.
Nothing?
He is in a submarine.
Oh, a submarine.
In the back yet.
In the back of this. Good night, Mrs. Nussbaum. Well, Portland, walking down Main Street is like a man with one tooth trying to eat an ear of corn. It's a lot of effort, but you don't get much out of it.
You haven't found out much about travel, have you?
No, I haven't. I'll try one more character. This little man gimping along with the agonized expression. Hi, bud.
Here, there, what's on the water? Who's on my head?
How do you do? Ajax Cassidy.
Oh, let me lean on you, boy. Me feet are killing me.
Your feet?
Every step I take, it feels as though my shoes are full of eyeballs and I'm treading on them one at a time.
What's wrong with your feet?
Well, I marched in the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Oh, say, how was the parade, Ajax?
Oh, 'twas a sight I long remember.
Impressive, eh?
The men of Sligo with their pea-green silk hats.
Yes.
The Irish National Guard with their kilts billowing in the wind.
Yes.
The Department of Sanitation band playing Clancy Lowered the Broom.
Good.
And as the Sons of Galway passed 34th Street, a puny individual in front of an English chop house yelled 3 cheers for Sir Cedric Hardwick.
3 cheers for Sir Cedric Hardwick? What happened?
In 2 minutes flat, the English chop house was a parking space.
Tell me, Ajax, do you think the Irish like to travel?
Sure, me boy. Travel was invented by an Irishman.
What Irishman invented travel?
Fitzpatrick.
Oh, Fitzpatrick.
Haven't you seen Fitzpatrick's travelogues?
Oh, yes.
Up the Columbia River with rod and reel.
Yes.
Through Turkey with knife and fork.
Yes, I know. Well, do you ever travel, Ajax?
Not me, me boy. Only one man in the Cassidy family ever traveled. And it cured us for 2 generations.
What happened?
Me father traveled to Sing Sing.
Sing Sing?
Wasn't bad enough me poor father was leaving for 10 years.
Yes?
He got seasick going up the river. Goodbye, Dean.
So long, Ajax. Are you stopping at the music store, Portland?
Yes, I want to hear the record of the week.
Well, what is the record this week?
It's Al Goodman and his orchestra and the 5 DeMarco sisters, and the song is When You're in Love.
Oh, listen, they're going to play it.
When you're in love, the whole world sings a melody. When you're in love, who cares if raindrops fall? When you're in love, the angels walk beside you. They seem to say, heaven's not far away. In country lanes, as you hear the church bells ringing, your heart goes winging where birds are singing, and in your heart there's no room for tears and sorrow. That sad tomorrow will never come to you. When you're in love, the whole world sings a melody. When you're in love, who cares if raindrops fall? And so I pray that someday I shall find you that perfect day when you're in love with me. When you're in love.
Portland, here comes Kenny Delmar. Hey, look at that outfit. Kenny, what are you dressed up for?
Well, today is the first day of spring.
And?
And tomorrow, Mr. Emil Alvin Hartman, director of New York's famed Fashion Academy, is going to name America's best-dressed women.
Really?
And, Fred, every style-conscious woman hopes her name will be on that list. It's a great honor.
It's like being picked for the All-American, huh?
Right, Fred. America's best-dressed women make up the greatest fashion team of the year.
Say, Kenny, this Fashion Academy that selects the best-dressed women.
It's the same Fashion Academy that awarded the gold medal to the new Ford as America's fashion car of the year.
Oh, will the new Ford be on Mr. Hartman's best-dressed list tomorrow, too?
No, Fred.
Oh,
tomorrow is Ladies' Day in the world of fashion. But the new Ford will be first on the list of most new car buyers who are fashion conscious.
You mean those people who want a really good-looking car?
Yes, Fred, but the 49 Ford has more than fashion-approved styling.
You mean?
I mean the new Ford feel. New car buyers everywhere should ask their Ford dealers to let them drive a 49 Ford and feel the difference. That's why we ask everybody to get behind the wheel and try the new Ford feel. Goodbye, Fred.
So long, Kenny. All right, Portland, come away from that fish market.
Look at those oysters.
Oysters?
One oyster has his shell open. I think he's yawning.
Oh, that's silly. Why should an oyster yawn?
Maybe he just got out of bed.
Out of bed?
An oyster bed.
Oh, say, I knew a moron once who ate nothing but oysters. His head came to a blue point. Say, Portland, here's that health restaurant, the Honey House. You want to come in and have a salad?
Oh, it's too late. I have to go home.
All right, I'll see you next Sunday then.
Good night.
Good night. Say, this man coming out of the Honey House looks familiar.
Hello, Fred.
Victor Moore. Victor, what are you doing in a health food restaurant?
Well, I'm building myself up, Fred. Doctor's orders.
Oh, really? Did the doctor examine you?
Yes, he tried to take my blood pressure.
What happened?
No blood.
No blood?
The doctor opened one of my veins. It just hissed at him.
Well, Victor, you look wonderful to me.
It's this health food, Fred. Take the dinner I just finished eating.
What did you have for dinner?
Well, I started off with a health martini.
What is a health martini?
It's a glass of radish juice with a peeled soybean floating in it. Then I had a bowl of hot goat's milk.
Well, how do they make a hot goat's milk?
They build a bonfire under the goat.
Oh, they do? And you drink the milk?
Yeah, it's for calcium. Milk builds up your teeth.
Well, has it built up your teeth?
Has it? But this morning when I went to put in my upper plate...
Yes?
2 new teeth had grown in the front.
2 new teeth just from the goat's milk?
Yeah, there's only one trouble.
What?
They're goat's teeth.
Well, what else did you have on the dinner?
Well, next I had a heaping dish of spinach.
For the iron?
For the sand.
The sand in the spinach helps you?
Oh, yes. I have eaten so much sand, my floating kidney is beached.
Well, you keep eating this health food, Victor, you'll be another Superman.
Well, my whole family was strong. My uncle was a lion tamer in the circus.
No kidding.
One day my uncle pried open a lion's mouth and stuck his foot in it.
He put his foot in a lion's mouth? What's your uncle's name?
Hop along more.
Say, he must have been pretty strong.
I take after my uncle, Fred. Feel how solid my arm is.
Oh, Victor, you are a mass of flab.
Yeah, I know, but it's solid flab.
Victor, I don't get it. You're trying to build yourself up to be a muscular brute, and out in Hollywood, you became a star playing a weakling.
Yeah, but Fred, there's a depression out in Hollywood. That's why I came east.
Well, I know, but why build yourself up?
I'm getting ready for radio.
Radio?
Yeah, everybody in NBC is switching over to another network.
But,
when Mr. District Attorney switches, I'll be ready.
Oh. Victor, you can't take Mr. D.A.'s place.
Why not?
Why, those gangsters would give you an awful pushing around.
With my new muscles, they wouldn't dare.
Oh, look, Victor, if you were ever Mr. District Attorney, that program would come out something like this.
Presenting Mr. Mobbuster. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, champion of the people, foe of the underworld, that defender of law and order, Mr. Mobbuster.
Thank you. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I will show you how I dealt with the most dangerous criminal I encountered in my 40 years on the force.
Who was the most dangerous criminal, Mr. Mobbuster?
Charlie the Chicken.
Charlie the Chicken?
Yes, it all started back in 1940. I was in my office at police headquarters welding a thumb on my brass knuckles. When Mulligan, my right-hand man, said...
Chief, I don't understand it. 30 years in office and you ain't caught a criminal yet.
It's just a slump, Mulligan.
67 unsolved murders this week alone. Why, the streets is piled high with bodies.
I'll stop this crime wave, Mulligan. Just give me time.
Who's this?
My secretary. Yes, Miss Finn?
Some guy just left these telephone messages for you, Mr. Mobbuster.
Telephone messages?
Yeah. He says he's been tapping your wire, and when you ain't in, he takes the calls.
Well, don't let that worry you, Chief. The mayor's having the same trouble. Chief, you gotta solve a crime pretty soon. The newspapers are starting to talk.
I gotta get a case. Miss Finn, turn on my shortwave set.
Okay, Chief.
Attention all police. Poultry truck hijacked in Jersey. 2,000 chickens stolen. Charlie the Chicken suspected. Charlie the Chicken suspected.
Charlie the Chicken, Chief, the biggest chicken napper in the country.
This is my big chance.
This case will be a feather in your cap.
Right, Mulligan. I'll bring in Charlie the Chicken single-handed. Where's my 44?
Chief, your 44 ain't here.
Okay, give me 2 22s.
Okay, let's go, Chief.
This is mighty exciting, Mr. Mobbuster. What happened next?
Chickens were disappearing every day. I got a tip that Charlie the Chicken was going to rob the biggest coop in the Bronx.
You were prepared.
Mulligan and I hid in the chicken coop. Day and night, we sat on 2 nests, disguised as chickens. One night as we sat there in the dark clucking, I heard Mulligan speak.
Chief, I gotta get off this nest.
Quiet, Mulligan. Somebody just came in the coop.
Okay, Chief, I'll get back on the nest. We better start clucking.
All right, who's talking? Who's in here? Who's in? Wait till I flash me searchlight. I thought so. 2 chickens with derbies on.
I got you, Charlie the Chicken.
Coppers, hey, take this.
We can lay the Chief on this table, Miss Finn.
Okay, Mulligan. Easy now.
We got you back to the office okay, Chief.
What? I can't hear you.
No wonder you can't hear, Chief.
Jeepers, Charlie the Chicken shot off both your ears.
No ears? What will I hang my glasses on?
Gee, you're a sight, Chief. In that chicken coop 3 days. Phew.
Yeah, let me get some of them chicken feathers off you.
I'll comb this mash out of your hair.
Well, scrape this egg off of my badge.
Charlie the Chicken got away clean.
Yes, but I'm a mess. I'll find Charlie the Chicken.
I'll get it, Chief. Don't get up out of that goo. Hello?
Is Mr. Mobbuster there?
Yeah?
This is the FBI. Charlie the Chicken is going to stick up the Acme cold storage plant tonight. Tell Mr. Mobbuster to get going.
Okay, John Edgar.
Who was it, Mulligan?
The FBI. Charlie the Chicken is holding up the Acme cold storage plant, Chief. The job is tonight.
This time, Mulligan, Charlie the Chicken is a dead duck.
Let's go, Chief.
You've got us all biting our nails, Mr. Mobbuster. Did you catch Charlie?
Well, not exactly. Miss Finn, Mulligan, and I went to the cold storage plant. We were hiding behind 3 icicles. I heard Mulligan say...
Chief, Charlie the Chicken is in that icebox.
Good, I got him trapped.
Shh, the icebox is open.
It's Charlie the Chicken. He's got a big bag of chickens.
Grab him, Chief.
All right. Charlie the Chicken, stick him up.
Coppers, hey, take this.
Oh!
The other 2 got away, but you, Mr. Mobbuster, I'm locking you in this icebox.
No, not in there. Oh, let me out.
You can lay the chief on the floor, Mulligan.
Okay, Miss Finn, he's a solid block of ice. I'll put him down here. You know, that was a good idea, carrying the chief home with these ice tongs.
2 weeks in that icebox. 2 weeks in that icebox, he looks like a human rink.
I'll chip away some of the ice and see if the chief is still alive in there. There, his mouth is free.
How do you feel, Chief?
I'm bird-eyed. Get me out of this frozen kimono.
A couple of more chops, Chief. There you are, Chief.
Oh, I'm stiff and I haven't even had a drink.
Say, your nose is gone, Chief.
Charlie, the chicken's a sure shot, Chief.
My ears are gone, my nose is shut off. I'm starting to lose face.
Chief, why don't you call off this manhunt?
Oh, Chief, this code message just come on the teletype.
What is it, Chief?
It's the address of Charlie the Chicken's hideout.
Good, this is your chance.
Charlie the Chicken is as good as plucked.
Let's go, Chief. Is this the joint, Chief?
Yes, Charlie the Chicken is hiding out in this Bowery saloon. Let's go in.
Okay. Say, you better be careful, Chief. This joint looks creepy.
Hey, bartender, is Charlie around?
Look behind you, Bud.
Clap hands, Chief. Here comes Charlie.
At last, Charlie, I got you.
Nobody's taking Charlie the Chicken alive, copper. Take that.
Gosh, what happened then, Mr. Mobbuster?
Well, Charlie the Chicken made his final getaway. He disappeared completely.
And you?
I was removed from office. When I finally got out of the hospital, I was out of work for 9 years until I got this sustaining job on the radio.
What became of Charlie?
Charlie the Chicken sold all his stolen chickens to a soup company for a fortune. Charlie the Chicken is now living in Florida under the alias of Gordon the Goose. He has a 50-room mansion with a private beach, 3 yachts, 12 speedboats, and a private plane. He spends his days at the track and is engaged to a beautiful movie star.
And so, Mr. Mobbuster, the moral of this story is...
Crime does not pay! How was it, Fred?
Well, it won't work, Victor. You can never take Mr. D.A.'s place.
But I've got to get in the radio.
Say, why don't you just do guest appearances?
Where can I get some guest appearances?
Well, I could call Jack Eigen, but that's past your bedtime. Say, I know where I can get you a job tonight, Victor. Henry Morgan's program follows mine. Now, I'm Henry's sponsor. Come on, I'll take you over to Henry Morgan's program.
Okay, from one chicken coop to another Henry.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen, our guest will be Hildegard. Before next Sunday, your Ford dealer invites you to get acquainted with the new Ford in action. Take the wheel, drive the new Ford, and feel the difference. You'll notice it before you've gone a mile. Thank you and good night.
For a half-hour of laughs, stay tuned to the Henry Morgan program following immediately over most of these stations. Victor Moore can soon be seen in the Warner Brothers picture, Kiss in the Dark.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.